When you're planning, also try and find the core of what your business means to you, because that's what's going to run the long mile.
If you're really passionate about something, right? Very cliche to say, but just go for it.
You have passion, you will make it work. It will be tough, it will be tiring.
So for the third and final segment of today's podcast, we are going to focus on growth and adaptation. So first question I'd like to ask is from you, Kuku, actually.
Yeah.
How did your business evolve over time, and what does growth look like for Krasa?
Okay. So like I mentioned before, right? We first started Krasa selling it to friends and family, and then opened up an Instagram page. So our main focus is on Instagram, even though we have a Facebook account as well. We did a bit of paid advertising at the start, but I think how we grew was we do organize pop-up sales, and I think even last year we had over 60 vendors where Lihini and Radhika had a stall as well. And it was amazing because we did give all small scale businesses the opportunity where they came and showcased all their products. And in terms of branching out, right? We started small, with a couple of jewelry pieces, and then we got more contacts with other suppliers. And now we branched out. Instead of just focusing on jewelry, we're starting a clothing line as well. I haven't really launched it, but very soon. And our main, in terms of growth, right? Obviously, it's very far-fetched, but we hope to open a shop in Sri Lanka one day and also take it international. In terms of international also, we already have a few foreign people who actually buy our products and sell it in their own shops, like in UK and Sweden, which I think is a step towards making that goal. Obviously, it's easier said than done, right? And it's a journey, and hoping that more opportunities would open. But yeah, in terms of growth, that's where it's heading.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
No problem.
So now that we're on the topic of growth, Radhi, what do you think some of the bottlenecks are when it comes to growth in a small business, and what advice would you give to someone trying to get into the whole thing?
So in terms of growth, I think one really main thing would be planning ahead. And I'm saying this because I didn't plan when I started off. I didn't have a clear set goal. I didn't have much plans. And honestly, I'm still learning. I'm so grateful for my friends and my family right now, because they're actually helping me to really set out some goals for my business and have long-term plans, not just okay, how do I sustain myself for the next few months? But definitely, when you're planning, also try and find the core of what your business means to you, because that's what's going to run the long mile, because that's going to be a lot of influence from other competitors or people in the market. You're going to watch them and you'll be like, okay, should I change this? Should I change that? But for you to stay authentic, it really needs to connect with who you are and where it's coming from. Is it a passion? Is it a motivation? Do you have a a purpose for it in the end? So those things really do matter. And another thing is it's actually down her stream, which is social media marketing, and that's honestly something I am learning from people like Anushka. But even that, if you know your personality, the branding behind your business, then you can stay authentic. And I think I mentioned this before, even looking at other people or how much likes you get, that can be very disheartening. But if you keep at it, and if you have your eyes set on the long run, that does help to get yourself or keep yourself going. That's one of the things, not everything. But yeah, another thing would be in being consistent. and this is very like I need to tell myself this, but it's something I'm working on. I'm really trying to be consistent with like how much I post. So my page is mainly on Instagram, and even that I got a lot of help initially when I started in November, and that's kind of created a base, like have a monthly plan, have a yearly plan, and all of that stuff. But let's get real here, because a lot of us started off when we were either just getting into uni, before uni, or trying like just getting into jobs. So it's not easy to really start up a business with nothing, and you really do need like a good capital if you're going to make that your main line. So most of us who were either studying or like doing a 9 to 5, it takes a lot to really know what you want to do. This is wrapping up back to like the whole planning thing. It takes knowing where you want to go to be consistent. So that's something, again, like I'm still learning. I'm still yeah, I'm trying. But even for me, consistency is something that I'm finding easier to do now, since I am creating more and creating from a place of like, yes, I love creating for others. I get like really cool custom orders. Recently, I got one for Valentine's. I had like a blast doing it. It's so funky. Like I can't think. Like I know I call myself creative, but like some people have really cool ideas, and I don't. And I'm like, but I can draw it for you. But like, it also takes drawing for yourself. Like as an artist, I need to draw for myself as well, because I do get burnt out when I just do everything for everyone else, and it doesn't keep me going also. So I do learn while I do for others, when I draw for others and create for others. But there's something redeeming about like drawing for yourself, or something that I also gain from it, and it reminds me why I'm going the long distance. So definitely like work on the consistency aspect, even if it's something that you struggle with. As a creative person, I struggle with like timelines and like inconsistency. So like I said earlier, I'm so grateful I have people now in my life who are like helping bring like structure into my life. So definitely, like Lily said earlier also, like it's a solo venture. Yes, you do a lot of things on your own, but it's things like this that you can actually get people on board and help you, to advise you to like just plan better and go. So those are things that you definitely don't have to do on your own. If you have the people and the support, it's like, yeah, take it. You need it.
Thanks, Ishai. I think it's very important. Like you guys keep stressing on support systems, and it's something that we all need to know, that it's okay to reach out and get the help you need. So I think another common challenge that comes up is the challenge of competition. Especially when you're starting out, there could be so many others out there doing the same thing. So Lily, what do you do to make noms stand out in the face of competition, and what sort of like techniques, it could be social media or technology, have you used to help you with that whole process?
Competition, I like to view competition more as inspiration, because I feel if you view everything as competition, it's a very scary world out there, especially when you're starting up. And in terms of, so I also run Noms by Lily on Instagram. That's where I get orders. That's where I like to keep everything on that platform, because it's easier that way. And so I put out content on that page, and a lot of the content I put out on there, there's a lot of contemplation and effort that goes into it. So even a reel, I'll sit for hours trying to perfect it. It's not easy when you're a perfectionist also, because it's like, even if the music is not aligning exactly where you want it, you just keep trying. But ultimately, and even that's what makes it a bit harder when you put that much effort in and you don't get the engagement that you really want, or you expect that to get. But yeah, so I think just putting a lot of effort and having that quality over quantity mindset really helps, because even with what I'm baking, I really try to use the best quality ingredients, and like it's not just something I say, I really mean it when I say that, and that's also reflected in pricing. So that's why I constantly see, like, now things, obviously the price of things increased, so I find myself having to reprice. But I think if someone really values quality, and of course if it's in their capability of buying, they will support. So, and there's like no hard feelings there. So yeah, just focusing on quality has really helped. And also just showing the authentic behind the scenes of having a small business really helps. Like even with packaging, even with planning, all of those things you don't necessarily see because you just don't think to take out your phone and video. But I try my best to while I'm mixing up something, just snap a photo and put it on my story. Just so that people see a little bit more than just the perfect polished product that you're putting out, because it's
And the
just
person
nicer.
behind the brand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I personally enjoy watching like day in the life videos, as a baker, like what do I do. People get up at 5 in the morning, and like their entire day is baking. And hopefully one day that will be my waking up at 5, not so much, but so I think just being authentic and really focusing and putting in that effort into what you're putting out really helps. And you might not immediately see results, but I think in the long run that really plays a big role. So yeah, I think that's kind of how I manage competition, and I just think it's really important to see competition as inspiration.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Yeah, honestly.
Because you all like shy away from competition. But yeah, thank you so much guys for sharing all your insights. Before we wrap things up, like do y'all have something y'all want to share, any words of wisdom for someone out there who's in two minds at the moment? What's up with you, Radhi?
Definitely stay true to yourself. Like, find what really puts you, like, find what burns you, like that passion in you, and stay true to yourself, because there's lots of things that are going to come in the way when you start a business. And another thing is, like, if you're on the verge of starting or you're actually planning, don't wait too long in the planning process. Like, I am someone who didn't plan at all, but on the other end of it is too much perfectionism into the planning will actually stop you from taking that first step. And taking that first step is really important. And that's something I'm doing even now, like just volunteering to, or just, participating in pop-ups. It takes a lot to actually say yes to those. But yeah, definitely don't hold back. Take that first step. Take it with like all the passion and drive that you possibly could put into it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Thanks, Radhi.
No problem.
Yeah, similar to what Radhika said, but if you're really passionate about something, right? Very cliche to say, but like just go for it. Because I think even for me, I had to step out from my comfort zone and like take a risk. It might be a flop, it might not, but that's the risk you're willing to take, right? And I think like if you're actually passionate about something, you make it happen, right? So I'll just say like go for it, because the sky's the limit, Very cliche, but like
And you?
I would say it's very personal, and you said capacity building. Just don't limit yourself. Again, as cliche as that sounds, we hear it so much, right? Just, come out of your comfort zone, don't limit yourself. But truly don't, because like you will always, you'll have a 9 to 5, and that will be like a big part of your life, and you're like, how do I find time for this? But then, like you said, you have passion, you will make it work. It'll be tough, it'll be tiring, you might not get some sleep, you might have a few late nights, but at the end it's so worth it. And I just think it's so important to not limit your potential to, this is just the one thing that I can do, but there's just so much more that you can do, but only if you say yes to, taking that first step, which is scary. There's no denying it. But like you won't know if you don't take that first step. You'll just be stuck in that same place. So you need to like fight that mental battle and just be like, no, I got this. If it doesn't work, you find a different way of doing it. So yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much
Thanks
for taking
having
the time
us.
and coming on here. I certainly learned so much about what it's like to start up something on your own, and the commitment it comes comes with it. So yeah, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We'll be back again with another interesting topic. Until then, bye.
If you enjoyed that video, make sure to like and subscribe to the GEP YouTube channel. And we also have a bunch of very interesting practical short courses which are related to the episodes from the podcast. So stay tuned.